You're such an asshole.
So the hotel internet is crap. Everybody's streaming. They don't know that I'm way more important than them. They all want to watch the shoes. So I'm going to go through this request. This is a long one. I'm just going to go through it. Crappy. Let's change the request to something that would be enjoyable. I would like a request on a subject that all of us can talk about, guns. I'm noticing that based young men are starting to show more and more interest in guns for self-defense due to different reasons like distrust in the cops, due to cops becoming more and more incompetent and corrupt, migrants getting more and more violent, getting in the way with crimes, liberal women wanting to get raised by, I can't say it, by foreigners, although there are tons of videos out there and I could give my take. Why not bring in the this lecturist in chief, Terrence Pop? If not, no worries. No, I can't just look. You guys don't see it behind the scenes, and it's nothing exciting or saucy. Every guy is just so damn busy. And here's the other thing: we're old, or older. Pop went through hell both in war and his marriage. Joker he was military as well, but he was also married and divorced. Old man Rolo working all the time. I'm tired. I like to go have fun. It'd be great if you guys came on together. It would be if we all weren't busy. I'll list some important questions that young men have asked me, and you and or Pop can give your thoughts. Feel free to add as many dirty jokes as you like, gents. We will assume for the sake of conversation that young men have never touched a gun and are considering firearms for self-defense, both within and outside their homes. 1, what are the first steps that a young man should do before getting a gun and or going to get their carry conceal license? All right, so the first thing this is just me. All right, I'm just going to tell you right now, in the comments section, there's going to be a bunch of freaking pussies called gun nuts and safety bunnies. And this is their time to shine because all they know is everything about guns. It's like people who are libertarians or pilots. It's all they know how to talk about. So I'm going to give you my advice. Generally pretty good advice because I've gone through the process before. And I don't want to hear any by all means, waste your time. Actually, said the fat man with a gun he barely knows how to fire. What are the first steps the young man should do before considering getting a gun and or going to get their carry conceal license? All right, so what you should do is you go to a firing range and say, I am brand new to guns. Do you have a pro? Can you just teach me firearms, like short firearm safety? Take me on the range and show me how to shoot a gun. Okay, because a lot of the carry conceal courses require you to shoot the gun for aiming, and you got to qualify. And if you've never handled a gun, go talk to the pros. Say, I've never handled a gun. I've never shot a gun. Can you get me from the point of being 100% noob to knowing how to load, fire a pistol safely? They might even have courses at that gun shop. And then once you are comfortable with a weapon, you might want to go and actually purchase a gun. All right. I would keep going to the same firing range, try different guns and see what they recommend, like a gun shop that has a gun range. Just get comfortable with one gun. As you narrow it down, this feels good, this feels right, and use that as like your standard home defense and qualifying gun. Then, first steps, men, before even considering getting a gun and or going to get the carry conceal license. So that'd be my first thing. You're just going to start with 9mm because it's going to be for defense. So just start with 9mm guns, pistols. Avoid revolvers for now. And then the very next thing you should do is a gun safety course and or a carry conceal license. Like there are gun safety courses you should take that are outside of concealed carry. But then the next step would then be after you practice with a weapon and because they're going to tell you how precise your shots have to be based on the state you're in. And you go to the gun range, you practice a little bit more. And then when you're ready to take the carry conceal course, then you go ahead and take the carry conceal course. 2, besides looking up the state and local laws on firearms, should they also talk and or befriend a defense attorney to protect themselves legally? There are lawyers that specialize in firearms law. I don't know what that is called. It depends on the state. What is it? The USAA, I believe, or is it USSSA? There's some firearm group out there that offers lawyer insurance, but that's not a bad idea. I would find out who the best lawyer is, ask a bunch of gunsmiths, ask a bunch of gun shops, what's the best defense lawyer for, firearm incidents in the state. And that's what I would go, yeah, get on a person. It's not the worst thing to have his number in your phone, so that if you got to pew pew someone and all the Karens come out, like teachers to defend the bully and the criminal, you can make that phone call. And a good carry conceal course will tell you what to do in case there is a shooting. What to do, usually just shut up. It also depends on the state. I had a real good carry conceal guy back in Minnesota. He was good. If this happens, this is what you do. And the short version is you shut up. Do you recommend open carry or would you recommend concealed carry license? All depends. Generally, if you're in public, conceal. You don't want to be that guy. People can see your gun. Some people try and take your gun. There's videos of people taking other people's guns because you had to be a badass and show off. You want to conceal it for polite etiquette, public purposes. The only time I open carry is if I'm hiking because I'm off on a trail. And in the places I hike, the Dakotas, Montana, Idaho, that's where the not pussies live. And it's just known, there's bear. We were on a trail. Bring bear mace. Like, oh shit, bears. I did run into a mountain lion and a good old Wyoming hick. You never know when you're going to run into some meth head. Well, typically not on the trail. But yeah, then you could carry open because you're probably going to shoot an attacking creature. But if you're where humans are in public, no, I would always conceal. 4, which round do you recommend that young men should use for self-defense for indoors, including grains? I don't know anything about grains. What about outdoors? Be conscious of overkill. Examples are 9 millimeter JHP, 150 grain, or AAC, 300 blackout copper tip 100. Well, that's a rifle round, not a pistol, and that would be out hunting or like oh shit defense. I would say you want to get the bullets the cops use. I'm going to say 9 millimeter. Of course, some cops are switching to 40. But generally, you're going to want 9 millimeter hollow or mushroom tipping type of bullets that fragment or mushroom so they do not, when they exit the bad guy's body, they're either fragmented or slowed down to the point they hopefully doesn't hurt anyone else behind them. What was it? The one guy though said, and he's not wrong, find out what the local cops use, like what is the bullet you use, and they say I use it, or the sheriffs, I use this bullet. It's the exact same as the police. And it'll give you another argument in the likes of a judge or a jury. 300. Hang on for a second. Hang on. But yeah, 300 blackout. That's a rifle round. We're just talking pistols for defense. I mean, we could talk all day about rifles and oh shit guns, but not there. Which type of guns do you recommend that these young men look into for self-defense, like pistols, AR, PWD, shotguns, etc., for both indoors and outdoors? Should they buy a copy of their gun in case they do get in a confrontation and cops confiscate the firearm and evidence and ballistics? I don't know about that. But I would say for beginners, every guy should start with a pistol, 9mm, whatever feels comfy. From there, I would then go and find yourself a concealed gun. I use an MP9 Shield because it's small and it's comfortable. Um, that's very practical. The first gun is almost like a throwaway gun. It's just to get used to firing. Perhaps a nice gun to carry in winter or it doesn't show, but you're going to probably need a smaller gun. And so there are subcompacts. My favorite is the MP9 Shield, 9mm. So then you go from your practice gun to your standard carry gun to a rifle. I'd probably say an AR-15. If you want to hunt birds and you want the shotgun for home defense, that's not bad at all to have a shotgun. I don't have any shotguns. I had one. It was a pain in the ass. Nothing against shotguns. It was that model. But you will want some kind of semi-automatic rifle like an AR-15. My favorite is a Taver X95 or 95X. I forget which one it is. That's a bullpup design. You may like that. And then you should probably get a scoped rifle with a larger round, a higher powered bullet like a 30-06 or 308 to go hunting for like deer or larger animals. And that would be like a bolt action or a regular traditional rifle, not a semi-automatic defense weapon like an AR-15. I don't know about buying a copy of their gun. If the cops are confiscating firearms, then like you didn't do anything to deserve it, like they just, dictator supreme for life says, yeah, that's a line I draw. I'm like, no, Constitution is right there, right there. No, you won't be getting my guns. 6, which gun manufacturers do you recommend to stay clear of? I don't know. I do like my Smith & Wesson pistol. Taylor, so far, that one's worked fine. It's IWI, an Israeli manufacturer. I have a Bushmaster that's worked pretty well, but I'm not an expert on the manufacturers. To SBR, not BSBR. To SBS or not SBS. To suppress or not suppress. Okay, that is a question for the guns. So I have none of my guns suppressed because a suppressor is a big hunk of metal you add to your gun. There might be reasons to have a suppressor. So that, if anything, a flash suppressor so people can't see you at night because a little bit of flame will come out and you'll see a little flash at the end of your barrel at night. And that'd be a reason to suppress. Also for it to be quiet. Again, fighting at night. That might be a reason. Me personally, when I'm out in the wild, I want the big bang to scare not only the creature I'm trying to shoot, but any other creatures that might think I'm a snack. So, and if people are in your house or you're having to defend yourself, they already know you're there. And suppressors are a pain in the ass to get approved. It's just it's a process. It takes time. I'm sure there are people in the comments section who might have a different or a more informed opinion about suppressors, but not me. 8, to train for proper defense. How should these young men train? What should they be doing at the gun ranges to simulate a situation when they have to use their firearm? So it's always good just to practice and draw. Practicing from your hip or your holster or whatever, some of the gun ranges are going to not like that. They might have different rules about how and where you set and carry your weapon. What I do though is I don't live in a pussy state. I live in a state where you can shoot out in federal lands, and there's a place where everyone goes and shoots, and I wait till no one is there, and then I go and I practice drawing my different weapons from different scenarios and different angles. Pop will tell you the same thing. Like, I got to practice my drawing, marksmanship too, but it's really practicing drawing, getting used to, okay, where's you pull it, you're taking off the safety, and then you're firing and you're not shooting yourself. But like anything else, like practice, that's what you got to do. And then you can go to the very high end if you wanted to go to, what is it, Gun Sight. And then there's another, I think that's in Vegas. And then there's another combat training site in Paulden, Arizona. I believe it's Paulden. I think I'll be doing that this winter. That teaches you with an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle tactics, not just defense, but taking up position, moving cover to cover, like actual combat. You need someone to train you. And I don't know anything about it. I got a lot of friends in the military, a lot of combat vets, and it's like, hey, you want to go? No, they got shit going on. To train to self-defense. Which sites have the cheapest and best ammo for their guns? How much ammo should they buy for each gun? And how should these young men store their ammo when not in use? All right, so I buy all my ammo at Shields or Fleet Farm. I've been leaning towards Shields. Not everyone has a cheap place to afford bullets. I do not know anything about buying bullets and ammo on the internet. I will now ask the audience to put their favorite place to buy ammo online. How much ammo should they buy for each gun? Well, for each gun, I guess 1,000 rounds of ammo. Generally, at least half are just target rounds for you to practice with, and half would be either your hunting round or your self-defense round. I have more than that. I've never really inventoried it. It was kind of like I'd just be bored one night, and I'm like, I'll go to Walmart. This is back when you could buy ammo at Walmart. So I went to Walmart, I buy a bottle of Jack Daniels, get an Xbox game, and I go get some ammo. And 1,000 rounds each gun is good. But with your rifles, man, you'd almost want to buy, I'm not joking, 3,000 rounds. So you never have to worry about running out. Like, okay, you got 3,000 rounds. You'd probably be able to hunt for the rest of your days and be okay. Some ammo might go bad. There might be an oh shit situation, but I'd say 3,000 rounds. And you could kind of use that as like a quasi inflation hedge. Because when you die or whatever, you don't need the ammo anymore. As long as it's dry, it should still sell for inflated prices. How much? And how should these young men store their ammo when not in use? Keep it dry. There's ammo boxes you can buy. I would also go online and look up how to store your ammo. Do not let your women near your ammo. Do not let them decide where to put it. You need to just keep it dry and out of moisture and water. If you have to, saran wrap it. Now watch, so don't do that. Oh my God. Yeah, keep it dry. That's about it. James, and how should these young men? 10. What are the available sites, their uses, and where can they zero them out? Which website sells the best sites at the best price? I don't know. Bushnell is a kind of shitty product line. You should be able to shoot all your weapons using your iron sights, the sights that come with it. You can get like a red dot or an ACOG if you'd like. I'd drop the extra money on some decent ones, like a $200 to $300 red dot. Red dots, I'm increasingly not liking them because the batteries are always dead. You always gotta, I always have my flip up sights. The ACOG or the red dot will die. Well, ACOGs don't. I think they're just powered by the light. The red dots do die. And so inevitably, I'm like, all right, let's just do iron sights. So get your iron sights up, the ones that come with the gun. And then maybe you could get yourself a standard traditional scope with the crosshairs. The setup I have on all my semi-automatic rifles is a red dot with the 3 times magnification flip scope that flips off to the side. Reason I have those are predominantly my oh shit guns, and my vision in my right eye is not that good. So I want to be able to, if you can't, I think the AR-15 in a rookie's hand, they say it's effective up to 400 yards. Well, I can't see 400 yards. But with a 3 times magnification scope, I kind of can see a little bit better. So having that just there to flip off and flip on what it does is it flips onto the red dot scope and then it magnifies what's on that 3 times. So that will improve your accuracy. And then if someone's closer or need the 3-time magnification, you can just flip it off to the side. The red dots, the optics, those are just, for lack of a better word, close quarter combat where there's no magnification. Scopes that magnify, those are for further shots. And then they go by like a ratio, and I forget what it is, like 1:10, 3:10, something like that. When you get into powerful rifles like a 30-06, you need yourself like a no-joke long-range scope. Those guys, I swear to God, don't fucking actually me. You get a 30-06 round, that can be effective up to 1,000 yards, pretty sure. Well, what's a scope that zooms in 1,000 yards? And that's a different, you got to take marksmanship training on that. So it depends on the gun and the sights. The more powerful the round and the bigger the round, the longer the range, the bigger the scope you're going to need. If it's a smaller round, not as far, starts falling off at about 250, 300 yards. Okay, maybe you don't need more than 3 or 5 times magnification. The website that best sells the best sights at the best price got me. I don't know. Again, guys in the comments section, go ahead. 11. How often should men be cleaning their gun? You clean every time you shoot. What tools do they need to clean their guns? It's a gun cleaning kit. They have a universal gun cleaning kit for different calibers. I think the shotgun is not included in that. So you can find something on Amazon like Remington or Hops, Hoppes. And it's got the wipes, and it's got the cleanser, and it's got the decarbonization. It's got just buy it, get the whole tool kit. Especially you're going to have a pistol or rifle, and so get all the wire brush attachments so that you can clean whatever gun you buy. Where can they get their cleaning gear? They can go to my website below, www.amazon.com. I'm sorry, www.assholeconsulting.com/Amazon. You could go to my Amazon affiliate link there and do all your shopping for your gun accessory needs. They can look up Daddy YouTube on how to clean their gun. Yeah, of course. Yep, lots of tutorials. 12. There are several times of year where deals are available for guns, gun parts, and accessories. When are the best times to buy a gun and or parts and accessories for our cash-strapped young men? I got me. I've not noticed like, oh, it's gun appreciation month. I guess after Christmas. I really don't know. That is another question for the comments section. I do not know any seasonality about buying guns. I've always just looked around, shopped around. Here's a gun I like. It works. It fits well. Is it affordable? It is. Okay, cool. And I'm not like a huge gun nut. I have between the North and Southern Commands, my own, not the ones that I bought for the GF. We have matching sets because I'm fucking romantic. We do. We have the exact same. We got the same layouts. It's. I think I got 6. 17. So I don't know when to buy a gun. 13. When should young men expect to break into their guns? If you have a dad who loves you, he will introduce you to firearms at about 10 or 11. They do have safety gun courses for kids. They even make guns and rifles for kids, probably starting off with a little 22. Still dangerous. Still, please take the safety gun course. But yes, your father should have introduced you to guns 10 plus years old. It's good to know how to handle them, to respect them, be safe with them, what different types of guns are used for. Like this is for hunt and varmint. This is just for fun and practice. This is for self-defense. This is for shooting big kitties that want to eat little errands. So that's a good age. And girls too. It shouldn't just be young ladies. You should go out there because of all the other women. See, okay, young ladies. Let me explain to you. Your moms and grandmothers and all the other women love voting in criminals to come into the country, and they love to vote to take your guns away because they're dangerous. And so it's really good for young women to know defense, self-defense, which includes learning how to operate a weapon. I would also say you consider which people you vote for, and are they going to create more crime or less crime? But, Daniel Penny. 14. How many times should men go to the range and train in a week? Dude, you're lucky if you get out once a month. And at what distances for each type of gun? Okay, you're overanalyzing. Dude, different guns have different ranges. Like, you're not going to shoot 1,000 yards with a pistol. You would. I try to train once a quarter. I maybe get out once a year. And I should be doing that more. But ideally, I would say at least once a quarter, ideally once a month. And that's if you have a place that you can actually pull. Ranges have different rules on how you pull your gun out of your holster and how you fire at the range. So again, if you're not in a sucky state, there's usually federal land you can go shoot for free and practice a safe drawing. So once a month, maybe. And at what distances for each type of gun? The pistol, which is going to be your main one, that's going to be your main one they're going to use for defense. I would say 15 yards and maybe 20 yards. Because if you're hitting them at 15, you'll probably hit them at 10. And you could set up different types of targets if you'd like at different ranges. Rifles, I mean, look up the range. And frankly, I cut the range at like their max range. We're talking about people who know how to arc up and use like a dotted scope where it goes down, and you kind of know, okay, the bullet's about to sink here. For regular beginners, I would take the range of the gun, and it's also going to depend on the bullet. I'm aware, but basically, what's the range of my gun? It's 500 yards. Try to hit at 250, at like half that. And then maybe 100 yards with some other carbine semi-automatic rifles. And then a scope rifle, like for hunting, 500 yards plus, because if you're trying to hit a deer, they don't come walking right up to you. And then you're starting to get more into long-range shots, sniper territory. And if you're big into hunting, obviously you put more emphasis on that. Should they also train for each site that they have? Well, yeah, you're going to be using the sights to shoot the gun. I would settle on your sights first before you change sights. You should not be having multiple sights for one gun. You have multiple guns for multiple sights because it gives you an excuse to buy more guns. Along with accessory like a suppressor. If you want to practice with a suppressor, fine. For now, beginner men, you're not going to be practicing drawing with a suppressor on a pistol. I would not waste my time with that unless you were like, I'm doing night fighting, and then you got to look into night vision or thermal goggles, and that gets expensive. 5, what kind of body armor should civilians purchase? What level of body armor do you recommend? I got these plates. I forget the level, like 500 or something. Like, it can take a hunting round. It will knock me on my ass, but I would get if you think an oh shit scenario is out there, you can get armored plating. A bulletproof vest will just stop pistol rounds. It will not stop a rifle round. Don't say, well, they came out with a new one. Then just tell me they came out with a new one. But you need plated armor if you're really worried about rifle rounds. I got, was it AR 500? Is that mine? And then that's like 10, 15 years old. Sadly, the gangs are getting armor-piercing rounds, piercing through levels 3 to 4 body armor, where it is illegal for civilians. What can young men do against that threat? Well, I don't know. I'd look up get level 5 body armor if you're worried about that. Tell your mom and your sister and your loved one females, will you please stop voting Democrat? Can we get the cool armor and the ammo? Oh no, you'll arrest us for that. Okay. 16. Anything else I may be forgetting, or either one of what you want to add? Uh, I would not worry about half the shit on your list if you are new to guns. Your first purpose will be to be self-defense, which will require pistols or a revolver if you're old, 9mm. Maybe you go up to a 40. If you're a bigger guy, want a bigger gun. And just to practice with that first. Always get safety training first. Get your carry conceal license. Practice drawing regularly. And then if you want to get into rifles, like if you're a hunter, okay, now you're going to look bolt action, 308, larger rounds, scopes that have a lot of magnification. Or if you're more self-defense and, oh, what happens if the cops go away? Yeah, you're going to be looking at semi-automatics. The suppressors, I'm not really. But then training. A lot of it's training. I would go join a gun club. Go, what's his name? John Wick guy. Keanu Reeves. He does gun competitions. That's fun. And they definitely emphasize safety there. And then if you're worried, if you're getting like, and I'm not a big conspiracy guy, but it wouldn't hurt for you guys to have armor. Absolutely not. Bulletproof vest. Absolutely not. But I would be. I would make sure I know how to shoot a pistol first before I'm getting armor. All right, let's go to the super chats if we have any. 9. Pissed off underground, $2. Is Cappy even tall enough to shoot a Yeah, okay. Here it comes. Plains Warrior, $2. A 22 is taller than Cappy. Get it? Is Dre not here? Is that why we're all doing the jokes now? Drewski, $5. I recently got my concealed carry license, even though I haven't shot one since I was 9, visiting my dad. Wow, okay. I still think for a guy who's never fired a weapon, you go get how to do it. Have a pro show you how to do it. Just don't want you getting shot. Fuzzbrain, $10. Former Army sniper here. Go and take a concealed carry class. Be an absolute sponge and learn the basics of how to properly handle weapons and range safety. Start with light calibers and work your way up. Yep, there we go. And he knows he's there. Uber Noob, $5. Better Business Bureau removed the $200 tax on whisper pickles. That's silencers. They're also super fun. You can also get insurance in case you get something. Yeah, you can get insurance. You can. Now, whether it pays out is another one. Get a flashlight. Yeah, you can add all the accessories to your guns you want. Like maybe your home defense gun, makes sense. But your carry gun, now you got yourself a flashlight that's going to hook up on something. Or now you got to find a special holster for it. I'm not saying it doesn't help with your accuracy, but are you going to turn on the light? You don't have the half a second to do that. Uber Noob, $2. Sig Sauer P365 is also worth looking at. Also train. Okay. What does that look like? Let me look. Subcompact. Oh yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad at all. Here's another thing I'll add. Everybody is different, meaning your hand is different. So, very first gun you get, make sure it's very comfy, right? It fits in your hand. My favorite gun to this day is the first gun I got because it fits into my hand. Then I had to carry different weapons for different points and purposes. None of them in my hand that good. But at the end of the day, it's a Springfield XD9. It's still too big on my small frame to do proper carry conceal. So that's why I switched to the MP9 Shields, which are pretty good guns. But they're smaller. Now, if you're 6'7", you got yourself a meat hook for you, you're not even going to be able to get your finger in there. So you'd probably be looking for a little bit more full-size gun. So, for now, just starting with something comfy. Potato sauce, $2 Australian. I'm so jealous of your pew-pew laws. I know. I remember when you guys used to have AR-15s and you took it away because there was a shooting. Potato sauce, 5 Australian. Over your 95% of the population pisses themselves if a firearm is mentioned, even if it's a gel blaster. I'm ashamed, not of you, sir, but of what Australia has become. Gape Horn, $2. Best hikes or things to see around Dinosaur. Oh, dude, I think it's called Fish Valley. Basically, Dinosaur National Monument. The main attraction there is the dinosaur field, the display. It's a cliff that they built basically a housing unit around that you have to take. You have to see that. It's unreal. But not far away from it is where it's a basically, it should be a national park. It's a monument. And it's where the Yampa River meets the Green River, which then flows onto becoming into the Colorado River and the Grand Canyon. And let me double check. I'm pretty sure it's the Fish Trail. Fish Towers. Do the map. Fisher's Towers. Is that? No, that doesn't look it. Nope. I don't think that's it. That's by Arches. What is that doing there? Hang on. See if we get the map. You basically go down to where the Yampa River is. Fossil discovery, is that it? Fossil discovery, quarry area, shelter, sound of a river. I have only done one of these. Oh, Colorado Trail. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, because you're in Utah, and then you got, is the fossil discovery? Nope, that's not it. Swelter Sound River? Is that it? Box Canyon. Maybe it's Box Canyon. No, that's not it either. It's on the north side of the trail, and it goes down to the Yampa River. Harper's Corner? Oh, no, wait, I've done that. Harper's Corner is definitely one to do because of the view. Harper's Corner is a must-be guy going from the south side. Hang on, let me get Dinosaur Monument. Okay, all right, let's take a look here. The directions to the... Is that Harper's Corner? There's Harper's Corner. Oh, Gates of Lidori. I think that's what it was, because I remember, yeah, it went up. There's 40. Oh, I'm sorry, here it is. The Jones Hole Fish Hatchery. I knew there was something about the fish. The Jones Hole Fish Hatchery. There it is, Jones Hole Road. I remember I drove north over it. And you take that trail all the way down to the river, which by that time is the Green River because the Yampa River is already connected to it. I would absolutely do that. It's a spectacular view. I got a picture of a goat down or mountain sheep with his rams. It was really cool. Yeah, that's the best one. Harper's, that's kind of a short lookout. And then, I don't know, man. Those are the only two I did. If you find some other ones, let me know. Kenny Firebird, $5. I go hiking in bear country. That's why I carry Ruger 44 mag with bear loads. No worries. Practice, practice, practice. Yep. The mountain lion reignited my fondness for carrying a weapon with me at every time. If for mountain lions, I bring a 40, but I also got a 45 in case I'm running into bear country and all that. But yeah, it's and then 9mm for other creatures that get drunk and start fights in Wyoming. All right, there you guys go. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.